What's going on, guys? All right, this is gonna be the first live event right here. Let me just make sure everything is up. That way, I just want to make sure we have a successful stream. How is the audio? Just want to make sure my audio is
Guys, everyone join the other voice chat. We were moving them down manually, but they just keep coming in. So, Kark's in there right now, just telling them all to move over. Jeez, still so many people over there. Jeez, still so many people over there.
all right. Sound like everything.
They are in the wrong chat. I've been moving them over manually. It's kind of fun. You just drag people. All right, get in here.
All right, I'm dragging the last of these people over into from voice chat. There we go. Crisis averted.
All right, guys, welcome to another Surge AMA. It's me, Mark, and I'm here with David.
Hi, I'm David Wiley, and I helped launch Surge with Mark, and I am here to help walk you through this complex, very complex AMA. So we're going to start off simple, and then we're going to go a little bit more in depth, and then we're going to answer some questions at the end and talk about future possibilities, and then yeah, we're gonna go from there. So just to start us off, for those of you who are not in the know or miss the messages or miss the memo for whatever reason, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time, we are launching Surge ETH. We originally were going to plan, we were originally going to launch Surge BTC, but due to popular demand of the community, we listened to you. It was almost like 4-1 to launch Surge ETH instead of Surge BTC. There's definitely a lot of interest around Ethereum right now on the London hard fork. And so you guys spoke up and we listened. So we're going to be launching that tomorrow. Additionally, we're going to be introducing bridges tomorrow and bridge tokens. And that's not a typical bridge. When you think of a bridge, for example, Safemoon bridging over to ETH, you would imagine that there's like a P token variant and it exists on a completely different blockchain. What we're doing is we are doing something called on-chain bridging, which I haven't heard of before. So I'm pretty sure is a DeFi first. Each Surge token that will be out tomorrow, that's going to include Surge BNB, Surge ETH, and Surge with BUSD as the underlying asset. All of those native tokens are going to get their own X token. So one thing to know about X tokens and the whole on-chain bridging, is you don't need to buy or bridge these X tokens unless you want to arbitrage or move out of the ecosystem or to play around and experiment. So again, the main use case
Or
is right
swap.
now, is just to swap out to another Surge token. So we're excited about that. And there's a lot to this infrastructure. We've had more than what Mark 12 contracts interact with each other.
Yeah, for the bridging alone and the whole X token infrastructure, it's around 12 contracts.
Yeah. Do you want me to go into those a little bit more, or?
Yeah, we can do that in a second.
Okay.
There's a lot to these bridges that's really cool. But as Kark said, the main use case right off the bat is going to allow people to, instead of just selling your Surge BNB and rebuying a different Surge token, for only 1% higher, you can now just bridge over to a different Surge token, 1% higher than just selling out. So it'll be about a 7% fee overall to go from, say, Surge BNB to Surge Ethereum, or to Surge Ethereum or Surge BNB to Surge USD, instead of having to face a 12% to sell and then buy. That's the beginning use case, and these bridges are really interesting, and they open the door to so many opportunities. I think we're going to get into that a little bit later, though. So, yeah, you can start outlining some of those contracts and how they work, Kark. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. So, all right. To go into specifics on this, it's actually really funny. We have a lot going on, and so don't feel like you have to comprehend everything that I just say. But the first thing we started with was launching something called a liquidity provider. That receives X tokens from the bridge and allows for us to pair liquidity across all the different X token liquidity pools on PCS. So it was the bridge funnels its tax to here from all different X tokens. So that's the first thing we launched. The second thing we launched was something called Bridge Manager. This is the contract you interact with to create and verify your own personal bridges. Again, not going into super detail on all these contracts, just kind of laying out how the ecosystem works. The third thing then we launched was something called the personal contract. This is the personal bridge that you use, and it's proxyable, which is really cool. So we had to launch the X personal contract, and then we had to create a master copy and assign the proxy to that X bridge address. And then what happens is you interact with that personal contract, your personal bridge, and you send tokens to it. And when your tokens are in this personal bridge, you can then bridge over from your native Surge into the X Surge. So really cool, really clever methodology to do on-chain bridging in a fully decentralized way.
Just to clarify, you don't send your X tokens back to the bridge. Your bridge links up with your X tokens and is the only thing that lets you mint them and burn them. So it'll actually take the X tokens from your wallet and burn them when you redeem your Surge that's locked inside of it.
And the reason for that inconsistency is we've almost purposely hobbled native Surge tokens so that other contracts can't manipulate it from your wallet on your behalf. So that's why you have to send it to your personal Surge to your personal bridge to bridge. But for X Surge is a lot more, I guess, less restricted, so that the contract can just kind of reach into your wallet and after you've approved it, of course, and then do the swap for you. So I can go into more details on the bridge. It's going to be somewhat confusing. I think the main thing to look forward to is that we will have a DApp here eventually. I don't know the timeline on that, Mark. But this DApp will make bridging a lot easier just through a UI instead of having to think through and step through the entire process of bridging. If you can figure it out, good on you.
Yeah, it's a couple steps. So it's tough doing it on BSC scan, but the way we try to do everything in this ecosystem is make it so decentralized to the point that even if BSC scan and all these other platforms fell, you could still use your bridge, and that is actually the case. You technically don't even need BSC scan, but we are going to be building some helpful UIs to let you navigate it. But due to allowing it to have this full decentralized kind of approach, it's a little bit more complex than your traditional bridge.
Yeah, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually not bad at all. So when we were playing around with things, was it yesterday or was it the day before yesterday? I can't keep track of the days.
Yesterday.
Oh, jeez. A day in crypto feels like a week. So when we were playing around with it yesterday, we went through the whole process step by step. It was a little confusing to keep track of the contracts, but we were able to bring our surge in, bridge it over to Xsurge, and then move around inside the as Xsurge, and then bridge back. It worked. It worked flawlessly. It was actually super impressive.
Go in with I brought in my Xsurge BNB and I traded it for Xsurge USD and brought Xsurge USD back into my wallet. It was really cool. It was exciting to see it work actually with these X tokens, how they're created and destroyed in this way. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It also it just opens the door to so many new possibilities because these X tokens, they can have their own logic. They can have a completely different feel. So you could have a contract like Useless, like Safemoon, like anything like that. You could create an X token for it and use it in our bridge. Our bridge is universal. You could use it with any token as long as it inherits our X token interface. And then you have a completely different Useless, a completely different Safemoon, a completely different anything that could have different fee structures, different logic, anything, but it's paired one-to-one with the other coin. So it's the same exact price as the other coin. It's just ridiculous. You could use so many different. There's so many things that can be done with this outside of Surge, and it's just amazing. You could even relaunch a token. Say like instead of the typical ways, if there's something wrong with a token and you want to launch a new token instead, it's kind of messy. It's hard to get all the holders right. Some people, there's some that go well, some go better than others, but you could bridge an X token version and incentivize people to move to the X token in some way and just start a new contract from there. It's really interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities with these bridges, more than just swapping X tokens around. And the cool thing is we've generalized it to the point that your personal bridge that you create tomorrow will be able to use all of these, any token that anyone creates in the future is tax exempt. Yeah.
At first, we were thinking of actually having a different personal bridge for each token, and that would have been a really, really bad, messy idea. So the fact that it's been generalized, I think, is a huge win for the space because, again, anytime anyone creates and bridges over using our bridging system, then, yeah, you can use your personal bridge, that contract, interact with that contract to interact and swap between those two tokens. Super cool. And for Useless, like Mark mentioned, we're planning on doing something we're dubbing side chains. For those of you who are in Useless, yeah, you're like, no one talked to me about this. So it's still in the ideation stage, but just a teaser. We want to create something called side chains, where we are using the on-chain bridges to create useless variants with completely different logic. And so some of these are just going to be experiments at first, but if we do come up with something that provides a lot of utility, then we could then promote and get people onto that side chain, and that does nothing but benefit the underlying token, which is Useless, which is pretty exciting. Some other things we didn't talk about, Mark, is we didn't talk about the shake weight.
I guess they need to know about the shake weight.
Okay, so the problem that we had is that we wanted to come up with a way to where Xsurge tokens had a very slow burn. And in order to burn something that's bridged, you can't just burn it. You can't just send it to the burn wallet, right? Because they're paired to the base tokens. And so what you want to do is you want to burn the parent token. You don't want to burn the X token version of it.
It's mostly just in Surge's case.
Yeah.
Because burning Surge is horrible. It's a bad idea. Sending Surge to the burn wallet, bad idea. It just locks up the BNB. You're just burning BNB. Selling it, actually, it just benefits everyone more. Way more. Because the price goes up a lot more, and you get your BNB back. Yeah, there's no reason to actually burn Surge. Okay, sorry, keep going, Kark.
Yeah. And so what we're doing is, in order to, at least with Surge BNB and Surge USD, in Surge ETH, we're going to have a function in there that allows for tokens to just be deleted from existence, right? That's the Surge version of burning. That just raises the price for everybody to have those tokens just removed. They get a bigger slice of the underlying assets underneath. But with Surge BNB and Surge BOSD, we didn't have that function. And so we're like, how in the world do we get rid of these tokens? Do we delete them? Because the contract has control over the token, like the minting and the delete function, right? So we need to get rid of them somehow. And so what we have is something called the shake weight. And that's a solution that we figured out for Surge BNB and for Surge USD.
Only.
Yeah. The other ones use the function that we
Burninator.
created. Yeah, the Burninator specifically for this. But what it does is you have to explain this, man.
Okay, so the shake weight, it receives 0.1% of every Xsurge token transfer. So buying, selling, moving around Xsurge at all, 0.1%, which is really small, and it won't change PancakeSwap slippage at all. It's that's a great number. That gets siphoned off into the shake weight, and then when the shake weight hits a certain threshold, or if anyone just sends BNB to it, like any amount of BNB, it triggers it. And it literally it creates a contract when it's made called its Shake Buddy, and they just send the Surge tokens back and forth to each other like 50 times, and the transaction fees whittle it down to be like only like 10% of what it was before, and then it keeps building up again, and then it does it again. That's the only real solution we had for burning Surge tokens, and I mean it works. We tested it out, and I can't believe it actually works. If you go back in the transaction history for Surge, you'll see like 50 transactions back and forth between these two wallets, and the value just shrinking of it every time. It's pretty funny. We were we were like, that can't be the only way, but the way we set up Surge USD and Surge BNB, it is the only way, because the actual Surge contract's the only thing that can mint and burn. But with the new ones, we added what we called the garbage collector. So every time someone purchases Surge, it checks to see if there's any Surge tokens inside of the contract, and if it does, it just removes them from the total supply. So now the Burninator is as easy as just sending tokens to their native contract, because the garbage collector will handle it for them. Okay, sorry. That was a funny point, though.
It was.
I was amazed that it worked so well.
Some other contracts inside the ecosystem that we haven't talked. Well, you touched upon the Burninator and what that does, so I don't think we need to go into that. The last one I don't think we've touched upon was the token database.
No, that's not really that's more helpful on our end. All that does is verify and put X Surge tokens in a list with their fees. So everyone will be able to see on our website what Surge token is verified by us and what its fees are.
And some
that's coming later.
Oh, okay. You're not launching that.
Well, that's coming with Surge launch. Hint.
Oh, okay. That's right. That's why the pause. Okay. I was talking a little bit more about future stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Surge launch is going to be cool. We could just go into it now.
Okay, let's do it. We got time.
We've generalized Surge and Xsurge to be able to be paired to anything, any asset on Binance Smart Chain, and instead of just launching our own tokens all the time and just being like, hey, a new token, that doesn't seem too decentralized. We're going to be doing it every now and then, but we're going to be opening it up to the public, and we're going to allow anyone to create a Surge token paired to anything, and they can specify the fees. And it won't be free, and the money that is generated will be going into pairing that Surge token, the new Surge token, in with our ecosystem in a way that all the Surge tokens can benefit from newly created ones. And this is going to allow us to not be in control of the creation of new Surge tokens. So when someone would create one, it would create one for them, it'd create an X token, it would verify it in our database, and people could trade it, and it would be in a big platform that we will be creating called Surge Launch. it'll show the most popular ones of the week, the ones with the most traction, most funds in it, just different stats like that, newly created ones. Hopefully some of the profits raised from it can go into some more marketing, as you know, because we don't have any developer funds. That the marketing's been scarce in this community. So it's going to be cool. It's going to open up the door to a lot of cool opportunities and take a little bit more power out of our hands in terms of deciding what to launch and when to launch it. And it'll let you guys dictate. And if you like a project, that's probably going to be the ones you guys decide to invest in. It doesn't have to be ones that we want to launch. But since we will be charging for it, at least I've decided we'll be doing bi-weekly launches that are community voted on. So if there's a project that you guys want and it's not worth it to put down the money for it, we will be doing bi-weekly surge launches as well from here on out. Which is pretty well, not here on out. Sorry, this is Time Future. This is with
once we get Surge Launch up and running. Yeah.
Yep.
And one thing I like about this whole process is that you don't have to go through a Surge Launch process in order to do this. But we're creating a system again to be as decentralized as possible. But we want to kind of position ourselves in a way to where we aren't in control of the ecosystem, but we're providing services to the ecosystem. That way, it's again in the spirit of decentralization. That is our goal, and our vision is to improve DeFi and to decentralize it as much as possible. And that spirit doesn't work very well in the face of, centralizing and gobbling up the ability for people to create X token variants. So to play nicely in our ecosystem, all you'd have to do is inherit the X token interface that we've made, and the bridging system can use that. But if you use our platform, it's a lot easier to get started. You can have your community actually raise the funds in order to get this going. And what's beneficial as well is that some of that launch money does come back to us, which helps us actually build new products going forward and to provide some of the servicing of this ecosystem. But I just want to make it very clear, our goal in this isn't to get rich. Our goal in this is to create a decentralized system that works really well for people. And then we position ourselves as a way to help service this ecosystem. I just wanted to repeat that because I know that that's something near and dear to a lot of you guys is that, it's not a centralized system. It's not something where the devs just kind of run off on private jets and yachts, right? That's not the goal here.
Yeah, definitely. This was the best way that we could do it. We just like to look at what FUD even is there with Surge, because there really isn't much in terms of the structure of it and developer capabilities. But one of the FUD could be us positioning ourselves as the leaders and launching Surge tokens and saying these are the real ones. So having a way to allow anyone to specify the fees and the underlying asset, and we write the code for them so that we know that it's real and it's verified by us. That I see that as being the solution to that. I'm curious to see what you guys have, what you think about that system as well.
Right. And this is what we're ideating. This is the direction we're going towards. And so if anybody has any concerns about that, bring it up. Let's talk about it. We want to make sure that the community is heard in how we do progress and move towards sort of our vision on how the Surge ecosystem will work. But at the same time, we are trying to be really conscientious about all of this. And Surge is so interesting. I mean, when people buy it, the price, to the underlying asset goes up. When they transfer it, the price of the underlying asset goes up. When they sell it, the price of the underlying asset goes up, right? And so it's really hard like you said, to generate FUD around this token. If whales sell, it's not a big deal. Everyone benefits. It's super interesting, cool position to be in.
Yeah, it really is, and not only a position to be in, but just as the things you can build from it are just crazy. It's like, why wouldn't there be Surge tokens for many different tokens? I don't know, and so that's why opening it up in this way and connecting the ecosystem early before it spreads too far and wide is really important. And having these X Surge tokens is how we connect this ecosystem, because the way we wrote normal Surge, it can't be on exchanges. Can't be anywhere. It lives only on the blockchain. So it's hard to connect with other coins in that way. So having these X coins all like connect and intertwine is the end goal in terms of how we can keep all these Surge tokens still benefiting one another even when people besides us create them.
So I'm going to take a second. For those of you who fanboy over Mark, I just want to give you, throw you some meat. So he was able to create all these contracts, right, since we last ideated this. The liquidity provider, the shake weight, the shake buddy for it, the bridge manager, the X bridge parent, the one created as the parent proxy, the X Surge BNB, Burninator, token database, X Surge USD, Surge ETH, and X Surge ETH since we've really last came to the community in an AMA. So this guy is working very, 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 very hard for you. And I just wanted to point out that it's such an incredible pleasure to work with a genius such as Mark. And then I'm facing back towards you, Mark. So
I had a little bit of help with the proxy part. Useless Surgeon, I'll give him a shout out here. He's been volunteering a lot of his time to research how to optimize these and make them perfect for stuff. I can always write the logic and make sure that works, but I've appreciated the help of a lot of you guys actually that have come up and really put forth your time and energy to helping us with the Surge ecosystem. Because we're not the owners. We have just as much power as anyone else here, and that's definitely the direction we're going in too. So,
and I'd also like to shout out the web dev team. They've been making some great strides behind the scenes right now and trying to build out the website, the DApp functionality. There's definitely a lot of people moving behind the scenes, such as Surge Capitalist and building out the white paper and helping to organize this entire process and endeavor. There's people in marketing, there's people in web development, there's people in all over the place in project management. And so we're still growing. We're still, they say, what do they say? Forming, storming, norming, performing. We're definitely in the forming and storming stage right now. But it's fun, it's exciting, it feels like a startup literally in the first few weeks, and that's where we're at.
Yeah, shout out to Talden too. He's been great. If anyone else wants to get involved and help with the project, it's been proven that I'm bad at responding to messages because I get a lot of them. If you would message Talden, he's the community manager of the Discord. He'll get you where you need to be, and yeah, he's been a big help too. Okay, so yeah, sorry, you go.
No, I was going to say AMA time.
Yeah. Do you want to start bringing people up?
Yeah, and just for the record, I'm going to have a hard stop here actually in about 10 minutes. I got to go pick up my daughter from daycare. So.
Okay, I'll keep going.
Okay. All right, let's go look at hands being raised.
Yep, they're coming in. DeFi Speculate.
And he popped off. Okay. Zach B77.
How's it going, man?
You are on stage.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Your mic's muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hey, I got 2 questions for you.
Shoot.
You gotta unmute your mic, Zach.
All right.
I'm gonna invite Useless Nicholas up. Maybe by the time he's done, Zach got his mic figured out. Nope. Gray Adam. Yeah, how's it going, man?
How you doing, buddy?
Doing great.
I got a lot of people in my live stream. I'm trying to explain to them why there's so many Surge tokens. Could you give them a recap on why there's going to be so many Surge tokens and how they're going to connect and benefit each other? I'm trying to tell them the best way I can, but I'm pretty sure you guys could go ahead and kill it right now.
So Surge at the beginning was just it was just a crazy concept that we created, and we noticed how it was always rising. The price was when related to BNB, and we thought, why just BNB? Well, why couldn't we relate it to any token that people were bullish or had a good sentiment on? It doesn't just have to be BNB. It could be, as you've seen, Ethereum, the US dollar, Bitcoin, Safemoon, Useless. It could be anything, even other Surge tokens. So limiting it to just BNB would not be that beneficial in a way. People would buy it and they would hold it and they'd eventually sell it. Having the ability for there to be surge tokens pegged to any token people like and allowing them to move between those tokens in a way that benefits the other tokens, all of them. That's the new goal. That's the vision, because this concept shouldn't just be applied to BNB when it can be applied to everything, and they can all benefit one another. And that's what X tokens do. Because of how we wrote Surge, you can't buy it on an exchange. You can't even list it on an exchange. You have to like on a traditional exchange. I'll say that much at least. So what you have to do now, if you want to interact with different Surge tokens, is you can buy one, bridge it over to an X Surge variant, and then you can trade it for any other Surge token you want. So give a situation where you're holding Surge BNB, and you want to cash out on some of your profits. You could spend 6% to sell, and you get your underlying BNB back. Or you could bridge it over to Surge USD for 7% and continue gaining money on your asset. Still gain the passive income benefits of Surge, but without needing to actually withdraw from the ecosystem at all. So that's kind of just the start of where I think why I decided to use bridges and X tokens. Do you have any extra things to add on that, Kark?
Yeah. Again, from the very beginning, I always wanted to use Surge in a liquidity pool. And so having X Surge variants allow for you to do all sorts of cool things with Surge that you normally can't do, like have Surge in a liquidity pool. And again, that's something that we're planning for Useless just because it just sounds so much fun. Let's experiment with that. Let's create a Surge liquidity pool. And you should get some of the benefits of the ratcheting up price of Surge in a liquidity pool, which will have very interesting consequences. And it could even be a way for people to get into X Surge from the outside. You know, they could purchase Useless from BNB and then use it to actually sell their Useless into X Surge, which would just be really fascinating. And so it would be fun to experiment to see how this all would work from a liquidity pool standpoint as well. But that's not the main reason for it, but it's just something I was very excited about.
Does that
All
answer
right,
the
great.
question?
Yeah, I see it as like a simple way to just be able to stake, but for the average person, but have more benefits, and it'd be way simpler. That's how I see it.
And you're right. For example, if Xsurge got onto to an exchange, then you should just be able to purchase Xsurge essentially tax free. There's still that tiny 0.1% tax, but you can essentially purchase Xsurge tax free and get into the ecosystem and benefit from some of the Surge ecosystem with less barrier to entry. Because right now, to get into native Surge tokens, you're underwater 12% the moment you buy in, and then you are staked there for a while until you eventually get to a point where your time to ROI is complete, and then everything beyond that is yield. And so Xsurge tokens allow a little bit easier barrier to entry for people to purchase Xsurge tokens relatively tax-free and to enjoy being part of that ecosystem without necessarily having to put the risk of money down and stake it for a long period of time.
Now, I got one question for myself. Should I keep my native BNB and let everyone go to XBNB first, and I profit off them?
Yes.
I'm going to do that then.
People moving off of Surge BNB to go to other Surges will actually benefit all the Surge BNB holders because they gain that price action. And people leaving the ecosystem raises the price more than people entering it, ironically enough. It's kind of funny. So, yeah, in a way, you even if you're just bullish on Surge BNB, just keep it there. Don't even touch it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll benefit from all this action just like anyone else.
Well,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That was the original intent, too, behind all this action is buys and sells. If this was just a bunch of buys and sells in a pool, that's one thing. But we wanted to generate volume. We wanted people to move their Surge around, right? We wanted to arbitrage with other Surge tokens. We wanted to have volume. And so that's one of the main reasons we're doing what we're doing is so that you as Surge holders can benefit from all this price action and taxation that directly relates to a rising price floor against your asset.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
awesome. Thanks for coming up.
Okay, Peace Smart Moon. Okay,
Good
your
evening.
lighting. Oh, hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here representing the Church of Peace, Safemoon, and I heard you guys up here talking about the bridge, and I want to know how are these bridges going to work different from the current bridge that we use to transfer from Safemoon to Peace Safemoon, or will
Uh,
it be the same kind of DApp process?
So the way we made it, there's no need for a DApp. The bridge from SafeMoon to P SafeMoon, it's centralized. P Tokens network has control over it, and they charge a tax to use it, which is fine, and that's needed for going off chain. You can't have a full decentralized bridge that goes to Ethereum because you need some sort of DApp to reach out to the Ethereum network and tell it what to do. But these bridges are on chain, so there's no outside force. We're going to make a DApp just to make it easy for everyone, but you could do everything that the DApp does on BSC scan or on your terminal at home if you really wanted. It's really interesting. So yeah, you just have to interact with your own personal bridge, and you can do everything that way.
Awesome. And I heard you say about earlier, and I didn't get the context. Unfortunately, I got a call at the time about it being beneficial maybe to buy and sell the underlying BNB in the contract. Did I hear that right?
I don't know what you mean by that specifically. There will be opportunities to do that, such as in an arbitrage opportunity. Like if there's a lot of movement from BNB to Ethereum, like people selling, the price of BNB on PancakeSwap for XBNB will be really low, even though it doesn't fall traditionally. So you could potentially see a profit from buying XBNB and selling it back, or buying X Ethereum and selling it back into that pool, something like that, which is pretty interesting.
Now I was just thinking. Now, can you write a smart contract that kind of takes advantage of that arbitrage and puts it back into the liquidity for the tokens to generate kind of maybe like an outside revenue rather than the rising and falling of the coins?
Yes. Because they're on PancakeSwap and the way to buy it is so easy and decentralized, it would be very easy to create an arbitrage bot to do that. Not very easy. I shouldn't say that, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't be hard. And we're gonna try to do that as well. I'll tell you right now, I haven't started on one, but the concept is there for how it would be done. Doesn't seem that hard.
But I think you're hitting on a good point, is that there will be arbitrage opportunities in this ecosystem.
Absolutely. That I look. I love the contract. I was like one of the first people in and kind of hyping it up in our community. And then there's you had a lot of people with an economics background kind of saying, hey, this defies the law of basic economic principles. And they were pretty upset. And you go over it and you say, hey, but it works. You know what I mean? And they say, well, it's just 6%, and then you're kind of building off of this. And I said, if you add a function in here that generates outside value, you guys will probably win a Nobel Peace Prize and get a contract with the federal government, because we know they're looking for a way to keep spending money. So thank you guys, Mark. I'm a big fan of yours. Thanks for everything you've done. Thanks for the contracts that you wrote, so we don't have to go through PancakeSwap. That's really big. And on behalf of me and the Church of Peace Safemoon, I invite you to our Discord, and I say P blessings to you both.
Thank you, man.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. All right, I'll get Crypto Control up here. This was a short AMA because we're both kind of time crunched right now, and I know he's got a lot of people watching, so I can ask a few questions. How are you doing, Crypto?
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm doing pretty good. It's good to talk to you again, Mark. I know you're super busy. Are there any topics that are off limit right now?
Well, keep a surge related.
No, oh yeah, I meant like within Surge.
No, go for it.
Okay. I'm just going to run through a couple real quick then. You already covered the websites. Do you guys have an idea, or has it been mentioned, on how many different Surge tokens you guys have planned to come out with, and any other pairings besides Ethereum and Bitcoin? Kind of a general question from one of my viewers.
Yeah, we announced the Surge launch platform, so after Bitcoin, we might have another, I'm not sure yet, but we're going to be doing a bi-weekly launch of tokens, and we're going to allow the community to create their own, depending on whatever asset they want, in this Surge ecosystem, using Surge launch. I touched on that more in the beginning of the AMA.
And that can just go on forever.
Yeah, people could create their own. Depends on what obviously people won't all buy certain ones. People would want to buy ones where they believe in the underlying asset. But we're taking the power out of our hands to just create them all, and we're gonna let everyone have the ability to do it. We'll have the code for it. We'll auto-generate the code, but they can choose the asset and the fees.
That's awesome. Can like two people make, like, is it like the first come first serve? If like one person picks a coin or a token, nobody else can. You guys aren't going to make two on the same one, or?
That's a topic we've been debating between. We were thinking of having some sort of naming convention on ones with different fees, because it would be interesting to have a different fee structure, and different fee structures might be better or worse for different use cases.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. We're still going through the weeds on what we think would be best there, but it's not like you can create a bajillion Surge tokens, because we're gonna make it. It's gonna be expensive, because you have to be able to not only have Surge tokens, but we're gonna have the smart contract purchase X Surge tokens for you and pair it in liquidity with our other Surge tokens. So in a way that it benefits all of them.
Do you have is there like an idea of how much money you would about how much money?
We haven't pitched it yet, but there needs to be enough liquidity for X Surge to their Surge to our native Surges. So to ballpark, I would guess somewhere between 4 to 10 BNB to supply enough liquidity to allow people to transfer in and out if they wish.
And my gut is that it may be a lot higher. I mean, you see a lot of pre-sales that are in the hundreds of BNB. So I'm not. It all depends on what the price for all the liquidity is. So it could be relatively cheap early on, but it could rise a lot and be more like a traditional pre-sale where a lot of people need to pool their resources to create those initial liquidity pools. So yeah, I think it's a little early to comment on pricing right now.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to. I was just trying to give you something to ballpark, because it does. We don't want a couple people just being like, oh, I'm gonna create a Surge token for everything and then I'll own it all, or I'll get in first. Yeah, we don't want that. So we're gonna structure it in a way to have it be like a community of a project needs to come together to do it. We've talked about doing crowdsourcing, letting people of different communities crowdsource within their community to have their community raise funds to have a Surge token for it. So it doesn't just need to be one person buying it. It could be all of the useless people, or all of the whatever token people or community could pitch in to get a Surge token for them.
Awesome.
Which would be better, because you don't want a couple people just launching a million Surge tokens. That wouldn't be good.
Okay, and I'll just use this one as the last one. And this is kind of a pretty obvious general question, but I think it's what everybody's kind of wondering about. Everybody wants to know about the possibilities of Surge mooning over time, what challenges we face to like a massive increase, and can you provide like a realistic outlook on the possible mooning of Surge in the future to give us realistic expectations?
Mark, I'm going to step in on this one. So,
I was going to ask you to.
Yeah. So I'm gonna sound like a broken record a little bit, but we cannot comment on price action. The SEC and the DOJ will tag team you if you do. So what I can say is that Surge is not a typical token, right? You have to think of it more of like an interesting financial instrument than just your typical token that you would ape into and hope to get 100x, right? It's a little
Yeah.
bit more slow going, but again, this is a marathon, not a race, right? And so this token is designed to be building real liquidity, real market cap, right? In a way that is not a house of cards, right? Or a run on the banks, but everyone has the ability to pull out the underlying asset. Because of how it's structured, it's not. Oh, hold on. I have my alarm. In fact, I don't have to go pick up my daughter because my wife volunteered to go do that. So, but anyway, this is not something that, and I think it bears repeating that with Surge you don't gain compounded interest, right? So it's a little bit different in terms of how gains are made. You will potentially see some smaller gains on a daily basis, and over time these will definitely add up. But and that's math talking. That's not me giving promises, right? I think just the math shows that as long as there's volume, the price action will increase. There's no debate about that. How much it increases, or to where it increases, or if it will moon or whatever, can't comment on that. But I would just say that just temper your expectations a little bit, guys. That this is not an infinite money printer glitch that we've discovered.
Yeah.
Right? This is a different type of DeFi instrument, and act accordingly.
Okay, yeah, and that's why I asked in the beginning. I was like, any limit, and I was like, you guys probably aren't able to talk about that, but that's why I was wondering. And I can get off the stage here so somebody else can ask. But I was just wanted to go a little further on that. Is that without like talking about anything of the future of Surge, but just like, what potential does it have with like high volume? Does it have that potential to moon if there's enough volume, or is it designed in such a way that even with massive volume, that it still would take a long time? I guess that's kind of what I was trying to hit at without actually directly talking about what will happen. Is there a way to talk about that, or is that still?
I could go over the math. It depends on buy versus sell pressure, more or less. That's why we wanted to have a way for people to move their Surge tokens to other ones, because if there's a lot of buy pressure, that the benefits to the price slows down. But if you can incentivize transferring, selling, it regains that whole upward momentum again. So this is true. This is what I've graphed out when I graph out the way that our token works with different environments. If there's only buys coming in, only buys, it forms a logarithmic chart. If there's only transfers, it forms a linear chart. And if there's only sells, it forms an exponential chart. And that is just how it works. No comment on anything there. But the way that they all form together will impact how our chart might look in the future.
Okay, and it has to be above like 6 or 7%. You said for the for transferring, or was I wrong on that?
What do you mean? It's going to be 7% to move from one Surge token to another Surge token, fully the entire way, from
so
Surge
to,
to X Surge,
above
from
that
Surge to
Sorry.
unless you want to move to a different asset. So from Surge to X Surge will only be 4.5%. So you could just chill in X Surge for a bit, but when you actually move back to the other Surge that it's backing, that's another 2.5%.
Okay. Well, thanks, guys. It was nice talking to you. I will get out of here.
Awesome. Did you have something to add, Capitalist?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question.
I think your mic's muted.
No, you're good.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome.
The
question specifically is as it relates to the Surge launch platform, with respect to certification of new tokens. Like, one of the things that obviously people really like about this ecosystem is the trust that they have with you and with the tokens that have been launched and being fully renounced. So as part of that fee structure for launching new tokens, do you intend to be creating a quasi-certification process on behalf of those tokens launching and ensuring that they are in the best interest of the community?
Yes. So I touched on this briefly, but we have what we call the token database, and it'll have our stamp of approval on certain projects that we know the underlying asset is. The only risk in Surge launch, since it's decentralized, you can't cut out all the risk. There is still going to be ways that people can do bad things, such as they could create a coin that is a rug pull, and they could make a surge on top of it. And even though the surge can't rug pull, they could rug pull the underlying coin, such as, if they made a surge wrapped rug pull coin, more or less. So there will be an amount of due diligence required to make sure what you're investing in is safe underlying. So that's why we have that kind of database inside of a contract that has our stamp of on different underlying assets. Obviously, if anyone creates a surge BNB, as long as it's using our code exactly, those are all safe and those can't be rug pulled. But if someone made like a surge Elon Doge crown coin or something like that, there's no promise.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being a shining light in this community.
Yeah, for sure, man. Okay.
E-Cruise.
Yeah, I have to run too in a minute. Sorry for the AMA portion being so short. I try to answer as many questions as I can. Okay. How's it going, Cruz?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good.
Ura for you and Mr. Ogai. Um,
You can call me Kark. It's fine.
okay, so I got two questions, and there's one specific question that goes a lot in the community, and it's about I'm gonna leave it before the last one. A little bit understanding between swapping between search, for example, BNB and search ETH. Are we gonna do it directly? And if it's so, what is percentage? That's one question. The other question is, can you come out a little bit with the personal bridge? Like I'm lost a little bit on there. Um, Staking and ownership on SUSD. There's a lot of people talking about that, please.
Okay. Could you say the first one again? I have the other two in my head, but I forgot what the first one was.
Swapping between search BNB
Okay.
and
Yep.
ETH.
So how to do it? So the total fee. So you'll have your Surge BNB, and you're gonna have to interact with your personal bridge, and that will create you. It'll lock up your Surge BNB, and it'll create you X Surge BNB, and then you can go on to PancakeSwap and swap that X Surge BNB for X Surge Ethereum, and you could just hold your X Surge Ethereum if you want, and you've only paid 4.5%. But if you want your X Surge Ethereum to be normal Surge Ethereum, you have to be back through the bridge using your personal contract, and it redeems X Surge, just normal Surge Ethereum, back to your wallet, which
Sounds
is
good.
really cool. And the second question was what again?
Staking, and the last one is the ownership of Search USD.
So staking? I brought this up before. Since there's probably going to be lots of movement in these X tokens, it was more of like a community donation thing. I was saying if people wanted to bridge like Surge USD and Surge Ethereum, they can stake those coins on PancakeSwap to provide liquidity for other people trading. You'll get the LP tokens, so you'd be able to pull your liquidity back after. I don't know if that'll be beneficial or not. I have no idea what the APR or anything like that will be, or if there will be impermanent loss. It was more of like a donation thing. Instead of asking them to send us Surge and have us do it, I was saying anyone could pair their own liquidity, and it would be very helpful. Surge staking is something very different and hasn't really been announced yet, but that's coming soon. That's going to have a much different approach on staking, and it won't have to do with X Surge at all.
Yeah, let's not try to confuse people too much with too many things coming down the pipe. But
yeah, we'll save that for another AMA.
And then the last question, which I do think you would want to address, Mark, is just the ownership of the Surge USD contract and some of the concerns around that and the limitations of ownership.
Okay, yeah. So owning a contract in itself isn't bad. What's bad is if there's owner functions that the owner can call to manipulate the contract in some way. That's where it gets scary. Having renounced ownership is good because it ensures you that any owner functions that were there can't be called anymore. The only owner function that we have in Surge USD is the way to upgrade the PancakeSwap router to a better router. given the chance that
Well, the only ones of consequence. There's 3 other ones.
the 3 other ones are built into the Solidity ownership class. And if you're gonna have an owned contract, you're gonna have those 3 by default. There's no way to remove them.
Yeah, which is transfer, renounced, and lock.
Yeah, so you could transfer ownership to a different person, you can renounce ownership for good, or you can lock ownership for a certain amount of time. Those are those 3 functions. And those are just built into Ownable, which is the class, the IRC20 class. So we made it ownable so that we could change the PancakeSwap router. We've been debating a lot whether or not to renounce it or to set up a DAO to let other people decide to change that for us. I've been leaning on renouncing it, but I don't know. That's not something we have an exact answer to yet. But if I encourage everyone to read through the contract and look for those only owner functions, and you'll see that there's only one, and that's the one to update the PancakeSwap router.
Thank you so much, guys. We all trust you and you too. And Clark, sorry, but you're still the old guy, man. I love you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you, man. Okay, I'm sorry. I know there's so many people that want to come up right now, but I really only have time for about 1 or 2 more. I have to get going at 8.
And if we could limit these to 1 question each, and time box it a little bit. So.
How's it going?
Hey, Mark. Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, brother. Hey, team. I appreciate you taking time and let me ask a question. So the way I'm understanding this now, it seems like the Surge ecosystem is habitually built and nested around the BNB ecosystem or the blockchain, right? Is there a plan when Safemoon develops their blockchain to start another or migrate over, or is there going to be a bridge between the 2 ecosystems for Surge? Thank you.
We wouldn't be opposed to linking with other blockchains in the future. There's no plan right now to do that, but that would be an interesting thing down the road to consider. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Last one, guys. I really have to go. My apologies for not being able to answer more. What's up, Christopher?
Thanks for having me up. Hey, Jesus, I'm still trying to digest it all. So, Mark, I think you need to get your doodling skills back in, buddy. We're going to need some of those videos going.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, I'm trying to understand how it's going to work with like new people coming in. So, just so we're clear, so okay, let's just use the BNB one, right? So it's pegged to BNB. So a new person comes in, they buy, they pay the fee, and then they get X tokens. And then, you hold, and your token amount goes up. Now, for another person to come in, they're still buying in at that same pegged BNB price. Is that correct?
Nope, the price is always increasing.
Okay, so long term, right? Do you think, will there be, like, so with Ethereum, is there a risk there that if we get heaps of volume coming in, that then for new people to come in, they're going to have to buy this, overly expensive kind of, expensive is not the right word, but, it's more, the price is a lot higher than actual Ethereum?
No.
So is there a point there where it kind of gets too expensive for new people? Or is that not how it works?
So it's so the price is only how much Ethereum does 1 Surge token let me withdraw, and since that's always increasing, it doesn't matter when you get it. The price can't be too high, because if people start selling down, it actually can increase just as quickly again as in the early days. Yeah, so the price is how much can 1 Surge token withdraw me of the underlying asset. And that's always increasing. So there isn't necessarily a too high limit, considering the fact that if people did sell back down, it could increase just as quickly as it did back in the day. If that makes sense. So the larger the total supply is, the more volume is needed to raise the price. But when people sell, it burns down that total supply. So if the total supply was remanaged and brought back down from people moving out, of that particular surge, it would be able to it'd be able to increase by the same amount again. If that makes sense.
I remember when you did that napkin math, Mark, and you're like, our token is saved.
Yeah, I was worried about it originally until I did the math and realized that buying pressure returns with cells, ironically enough.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to try and draw it myself. See if I can figure it out. Wait, thanks
Yeah,
so much.
graph out like 6
yeah.
concurrent cells and track the price on each one. It's interesting. I posted a little picture of it a week ago with my doodle. I'm not sure if you can find that anywhere.
All right, we are on the top of the hour, time check. So thank you everyone for participating.
Thanks,
If you have any questions, we'll try to answer them. We get a lot of messages, so just be patient with us. We'll get to you. There's a lot of community members here who know a lot about Surge who can also help you out. Again, appreciate all your time, energy, and effort being part of this community, part of this project. We love you all. Gotta head out. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys. We'll be back relatively soon to give another recap on everything. And I'll probably put out some informational video on the bridges tomorrow. Maybe not on my YouTube, but just like a recording of how to do it and how to interact with it if our dApp's not set up by then. All right. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. And again, that is Mark, and this is Kark. You have a good Tuesday. Take care.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just answer your question. I was actually just typing it out now. So the benefit of it, and just let me know if you guys can hear me too, because just put like I could hear you or something like that. Let me know. That way I'm not just talking to myself. All right, perfect. So the question was, what is the benefit of bringing an X token back to make it an actual Surge token? Example, SBNB to X then swap for X Ethereum, or Surge Ethereum. Why pay to make it X Surge Ethereum into Surge Ethereum? Okay, that is a very good question. Now, the benefit of it, because remember, if you keep it as X Surge Ethereum, you're not linked to the contract. So any transaction that's going on in the contract while the price is constantly going up, you're going to be missing out on that. I mean, you still would receive you still would see the price go up even as X Surge Ethereum, but it's not going to be as much. Typically, while you're in the contract, the price is going to be uh increasing a little bit more. So I'm a little bit muffled. So let me know if that makes sense. Let me see. How about now? How does it sound? Let me know if it sounds better. Perfect. Okay, good. But does that make sense though? As far as if you have it listed just as X Surge Ethereum, you're not linked into the contract. So the fact that you're not linked into the contract, any transaction or any buys, any sales that's in the contract, you're not receiving that. You would only have to rely on the ones that's happening on PancakeSwap. And you're also not benefiting from it from any transfers as well. Hey, how you guys doing? All right, perfect. So, any other questions, guys? Yes, we are buying Surge Ethereum tomorrow. I was actually gonna make a video too about it. I guess I could probably just talk about it just a little bit on here. The only concern now, this is the only concern that I have. It's just because of Ethereum. Because Ethereum, as you can see, guys, it's been on a massive bull run. You know, it broke out from this resistance area. Got resistance right over here, and it just shattered through it. So now this resistance becomes support. So the next area of resistance for Ethereum is right around here at the 41. So with that being said, Bitcoin with Ethereum follow the overall general market. So if Bitcoin continue to keep going higher, so shall Ethereum. But let's say if Bitcoin have a pullback, if we're getting in, I'm still gonna buy it regardless because long term, I believe in Ethereum. But just in this short term, immediate, price action, the only concern that I have about it is if Bitcoin have a pullback, then so shall Ethereum, in my opinion. And since it had this massive, run, it could potentially, try to retest back in the 2000s. So remember, if you buy Surge Ethereum, that your underlying asset is going to be Ethereum. So there's always just that risk of it. So, but like I said, for me, long term, I'm holding Ethereum because I actually have Ethereum. I'm holding that long term. But if you're one of those ones who you want that immediate gratification, you want, to see your money just start to go up in the next month, 2 month, 3 months, it it's still hard to tell. It's still hard to tell. But that's just me. That's just my personal opinion. And I always want people to be, to be able to see both sides of the equation. Me as a long term, I don't care where Ethereum is at today's price, because I know 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line is going to be much higher. Somebody said they have Diamond Hands, and Rocket Ship said they have a 12K long term target on Ethereum. Yeah, like Ethereum to me it's not going nowhere. Like it is extremely underpriced based upon the technology, based upon the stuff that they have implementing. It's underpriced, and that's why I love Surge Ethereum, because I know there's going to be some people that be like, well, I got into Surge Ethereum, then Ethereum start dipping, my money's not increasing. Don't look at it based upon the dollar amount. Look at based upon of how much Ethereum you're getting long term. I know, right? Someone put we didn't get in 3 weeks ago. So like too bad we didn't get in 3 weeks ago. I would, man. And just to look at BNB price. Now BNB, they have a lot of legal stuff. but still long term based upon how far they are off their highs, I love it. Like 689 was the highs. So it's 50 over 50% off of its highs roughly. So, I think the people who got into Surge BNB, I mean, you got in at a great spot as far as just with the underlying asset part. Welcome, Kermit. Said Crypto Control sent you here. Definitely do appreciate him sending you over here. Welcome. Map said the advantage of Search Ethereum over just holding Ethereum is the action of the contract giving more Ethereum over time. That is correct because it's almost like a hedge. I made a video talking about how BNB, if you get into Surge BNB, it's you're hedging it because as the price, let's say the price start dipping, even if the price start dipping and you're increasing BNB, your value is still going up. So once the market have a correction, which is it, it typically does, then the amount that you started with is going to be a lot greater. So even at your entry point, and that's why I say, like for me, I don't care what the price is of Ethereum today, because I'm looking at down 3, 4, 5 years down the line. Because I started investing in crypto back in 2016, and I had Ethereum, when it was at 16, $17. And the fact of the matter is, had I just held it, I thought, because I was looking at it too short term, I tripled my money, boom, I got out. Same thing for Litecoin. I was buying Litecoin when it was in around $5. I sold around like 8 because I thought I did something. Bitcoin. I was buying Bitcoin when it was around $800-900. Sold around 5K. I thought I was doing something. But when it comes to crypto, I was looking at more terms like how the stock market is. With crypto, it really is a long term game. So that's why I like Surge so much, because I see the potential. You could literally just sit your money there. And again, this is not financial advice. I'm just saying what I've witnessed. You could literally just park your money there, and few years later, you could take a look back at it, and it's a lot higher than where you initially had it at. The question is, do you buy Surge, the new Seth, with Ethereum or BNB? You're going to be buying it with BNB smart chain. Diamond Hand said, I trade with Fibonacci levels. Next extension for BNB is 935. I don't really use the fibs, but man, like if it gets to 935, like we're sitting pretty there. Andrew said, "Wait, so this isn't a scam?" No, Andrew, it's not a scam. I would. Ooh. So the question is, where would I, if I had to pick between Surge Ethereum or Surge BTC whenever that comes out, which one would I pick? That's a tough one. I probably would pick Bitcoin, and the reason why I would pick Bitcoin over Ethereum is due to the fact Bitcoin is the leader. Like today, AMC just announced that they're accepting Bitcoin. So different, I believe more and more companies are going to come into the crypto space, and the first one that they're going to gravitate to is going to be Bitcoin. then Ethereum, then it just start to trickle down. Scott asks, he wanted to get my opinion on how crypto would be valued in the future. That's tough to say. Um, I think crypto is going to be looked upon, as the replacement to fiat in the future. And I'm just looking at based upon how the internet whenever the internet came around back in the 90s, it took about 10 years for companies start to adapt the internet, because right around the 2000s, that's when you start seeing a lot of businesses, a lot of corporation, once they started tapping into the internet, then that's when you start seeing mass adoption among regular folks, regular people. Back in the 2000s, that's when a lot of companies started getting websites. you know if you looking at it now, imagine you're trying to do business with a company and they don't have a website. The first thing that you're going to think in your head is like, oh, this company is a little shady. And if Bitcoin came out, what, 2008, 2009, we're looking at over 10-year gap, and now you're having more companies starting to try to adapt Bitcoin. So it's almost like the same trend, in my opinion. Not a problem, Diamond Hands. I definitely would love to see a Surge Safemoon. I would love to see a Surge Safemoon. With the other crypto that's gonna, whenever they announce it, hopefully it's tomorrow. I mean, they do have something similar to Safemoon, but it's not, it's not Safemoon at the end of the day. Because I'm invested in Safemoon, so no. Surge Ethereum contract is not available yet. They say they're gonna drop that at 1 p.m. Tomorrow. Kermit asks, should he transfer Surge BNB to BTC / Ethereum, or just hold? See, I can't give you financial advice when it comes to that, but I currently have Surge BNB, and as you can see, this is the price action for it. So, it looks bullish. So, in my opinion, for me, what I'm doing with mines, I'm holding on. I'm holding on to mines. John asks, does it matter how early you get in? Um, I think at this stage it doesn't matter, but I think in the future it will matter, based upon, because currently right now I think in total, in just Surge BNB, we have about 11,000 wallet holders, probably maybe going on 12,000. So that's not a lot compared to the other big players. I think what SafeMoon have like 2 million. So compared to that, it's not a lot of wallet holders. But in the future, as we get more and more and more, yes, absolutely, it would matter. All right, King asks, how are we supposed to buy it with BNB if it's on Ethereum? So what it's gonna be is, so it's gonna be Ethereum peg on the on Binance Smart Chain. So it's not actual Ethereum. It's the peg version of Ethereum. But so as Ethereum move, it's gonna mimic it exactly the same way. So as far as with the pricing, And what you could do, like after, let's say you decide you want to get out of it, you're gonna get the same value when you sell it as the price of Ethereum. And if you just want to transfer that over to just buy Ethereum, you could certainly do that. As far as BTC having speed issues, that part I don't know. Surge USD is that is 7017. Um, that I don't know. Because it's pegged. So the question was, if people are gonna buy Seth using BNB, how will they ever get Ethereum back? When all the contract is doing is collecting BNB. So not necessarily. So what happens? So once you purchase it with BNB, the next thing that BNB is going to do is going to automatically buy the peg version of Ethereum. So once that happened, it automatically locks in the Surge Ethereum is going to be locked into the Ethereum price. So it's no longer BNB once you make the once you send it to the contract. It automatically just flips it over. Just like how with the Surge USD, you send BNB to the Surge USD contract, then immediately after that it turns around and flip it to BUSD peg. So that's how over time, because that's how when you sell your Surge USD, you get back BUSD Binance Peg. Somebody asks where can they find Seth contract. It's not. Well, it's gonna be on the Discord, and I believe Mark is gonna also announce it to his to the Surge Twitter. That is correct. Z asks, do we need to do the BNB smart chain to purchase Seth? That is correct. Do X Surge Ethereum help raise Surge Ethereum's price? Still so confused how those help the main Surge token. Okay, so it see that's the misconception that I think a lot of people are having. It doesn't help it like sim, like if one transaction is done on X Surge Ethereum, it doesn't help it. The only way that it'll help it, let's say if someone was just transferring X Surge Ethereum over to Surge BNB, if they're trying to switch token, then that's how it's going to help it. But if there's no interaction with Surge BNB, then it's not going to help, the token in itself. So it got to be some type of interaction. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the time that it comes out at. I got you, Van. Definitely try to make these videos timely so that way you guys know the ins and out of how to do it. I'm always, reaching out to Mark, trying to just get answers and just clarifications, so that way you guys know exactly what you need to do. I'm right there with you, George. I'm holding my Safemoon as well too, so and my Surge. Yeah, it Kermit. I'm the same way too. Like when the concept was first introduced to me, I got the just the Surge BNB part. Boom, I got that. But then once they started introducing the other ones, I'm like, okay, you got to break this down to me. Then just through communication with Mark and also some people in the Discord, like it just started making sense. It's almost like I always bring this up, like the movie is it Insurgent? Inception. It's like a dream within a dream within a dream. This is how Mark is definitely creating Surge. It's like a token within a token within a token. So it's it's definitely crazy. I really appreciate you too, man. Thank you for the love. Arbitrage is the way to go for small baggers and under one Surge BNB for sure to build that bag. I like I agree with you 100% due to the fact of how much, like, you'll be surprised of the arbitrage opportunities that is out there. Um, with Safemoon, for example, even with their 12%, I was able to still do arbitrage with Safemoon. Just it was super hard though, but I was able to do the arbitrage trading with SafeMoon. So with the 7%, that should be a little easier. And I started making a video of how to arbitrage it. So I was just gonna wait till the AMA was finished, then that way I could just finish up the video. Thank you so much, Mike, for the super chat. Looks like he didn't put anything, but man, I blessings, man. This is a blessing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, Kermit, I'm the same way. I'm a visual, so that's why I always have this little thing here. So I started on the video and just how all of this is gonna work out. So I have to finish it tonight. So I'll do my best to try to drop it tonight. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of moving around. So I'll just do a quick explanation on this. So this is how normal arbitrage typically happens. You have somebody who want to buy into a currency. Let's say it's BNB. So this would be considered exchange one, and this would be considered exchange two. So this one is like it's super easy to wrap your head around. So all you would simply do, just use your USD or your, it could be your fiat or anything like that. You buy BNB for $300 and you just transfer it over to the second exchange and sell it for $320. So boom, you just got a $20 profit. That's how simple it is at its basic form for arbitrage. But with Surge, it is going to be a little bit more complex, because as you can see, I have it mapped out right here. So it's a whole lot of stuff. So yeah, Kermit, I'm definitely going to do that for you. All right, Mike asks, do I need to own BNB for Surge to work? I have Surge, but no BNB. No, you don't need it. Once you get into Surge and you put that initial BNB, it's gonna automatically just work itself. So nothing else that you have to do after that. So I think Surge is like the true test of diamond handing, because you're gonna have really well, depending on your strategy, I should say. Because if your strategy is to diamond hand, this is gonna definitely help out, because you're gonna hedge your bet. I mean, hedge against the underlying asset, and and just ride the wave as you increase your BNB or your Ethereum or whatever underlying asset that you are hedging for. Radium Man, thank you so much for the $2 bomb. Again, for some reason, I'm not seeing if you're saying anything for it. Uh, if you did say something on the super chat, please just write it down on the message as well, because for some reason it's not popping up for me. All right, Nick asked a very, very good question. He said, "How reliant are we on the success of BNB? Let's say legal issues and another exchange come out with Trump's Binance and BNB value drops. Since Seth is wrapped BNB, would that ruin things? It wouldn't, because it wouldn't ruin Seth because it's wrapped with, because it's, remember, if you're doing Seth, that's going to be pegged to the Ethereum. So even though BNB price would drop, it wouldn't drop the peg value of Ethereum. But that is definitely a concern. That's my only concern with Binance, due to the legal issues. So many different countries are really just, that's, I guess they're the flavor of the season now. Thank you, Mike, for another super chat. So Mike asks, so can I make money just owning Surge and no BNB? Absolutely. Because remember, Surge, once you get into Surge, whether it's Surge BNB or Surge Ethereum, um, the underlying asset that you're into, that is going to constantly go up. Now, the price of the asset itself, like say BNB, that may fluctuate in price, but as far as you gaining more BNB, you don't need to put any more into it, unless if you just want to increase your bag yourself. But you don't need to own BNB to be able to gain, to be able to make money in Surge. So once you do the transaction, you send it over to the contract. Once you do that, then there's no other BNB that you just need to physically hold to be able to have your gains start to increase even more. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, Kermit. Definitely, definitely appreciate you for your for subscribing. Exactly. What Jeremy just said. To move your Surge BNB to Seth, or to Surge USD to avoid the drop. Yeah, so there's definitely, see, the thing is that, like, with Surge, it gives you so many different strategies. So if you're more of a long-term holder, like you don't want to sit in front of a computer, you don't want to, bother with it, you just want to check it every now and then diamond handing on this is the best way, because your value is going to increase over time. But if you want to be active and you want to grow your account like super fast, then arbitraging is going to be the way for you. So there's different ways to be able to skin the cat, and different ways for you to be able to make within this ecosystem. Thank you again, Mike. He said, "Thank you for answering my question. Much appreciated." No, man, appreciate you, man. Okay, to buy, somebody asks how to buy Seth. it's since there's not a contract. So let me go to Binance. Okay, this is Safemoon, but we're gonna just use this as an example. So this contract right here, again, this is just an example, so don't send any money to this contract. So for tomorrow, if you're looking to try to buy Seth, the only thing that you would have to do once they provide the contract address, you just have to send BNB to the contract address. I do have videos on how to, how I purchase Surge BNB and Search USD. So if you could refer to those, it'll give you a little bit more in depth of how to buy it. But the only thing you would need just a contract, and you need to send the BNB Smart BNB Smart Chain. Make sure it's BNB Smart Chain. Send it to that address, and it's gonna automatically spit back out Surge Ethereum back to you. All right. So we're that he built this token on token ecosystem on an asset that sits on a centralized exchange. Yeah, but I get that part. But same light. Like, where else? I mean, what other options? It's not a lot of different options. I mean, I get Ethereum. I'm a big Ethereum person, but I get it. For those worried about Binance legal issues, their exchange are not getting banned yet. But yet, LOL. The other aspect of their company that aren't following the rules with specific countries and whatnot. No, yeah, like it's a concern for me, but at the same time, I've seen it done before. We had Bitcoin under scrutiny. You had Ripple. It it's like the new flavor of the month. That's what I look at it as. Alex said his strategy is don't move anything and let everyone swap and move me up the ladder. Hey, that's a good strategy, you know, because like Mark said, the more people sell or swap, the better it is going to be for you. GM asks, Surge BNB versus Surge USD, which one is better in your opinion? Um, I would answer it this way: it depends on the market. So if it's a bull market, Surge BNB all day, because that is going to increase a lot higher and a lot faster. But if it's a bearish market, Surge USD. Crypto is Hydra. Absolutely, I agree with that 100%, Matt. Uh, the contract is going to be posted. It's going to be definitely posted on the Discord. And the second, normally he posted on Twitter as well underneath the Surge token. Oh, and guys, also be on the lookout because there are some fakes Surge that's out there using the same name. So definitely, guys, be careful out there, so that way you guys are not sending your funds to a different address, different contract. Um, because they actually try to reach out to me to be able to promote their token, and I rejected them. So definitely be on the lookout for them. Yes, Seth is Surge Ethereum. Well, Blake asks, he owns Surge BNB. Why should he buy Surge Ethereum? That's the thing. You don't have to buy Surge Ethereum, and the reason why I say you don't have to is you buy it, you buy these tokens based upon what how if you believe in the project. So if you're a big, pro believer, bullish, your sentiment on Ethereum is bullish, then by all means buy Surge Ethereum. But if you're more bullish towards BNB, then you buy Surge BNB. Because think of it this way, there's outside of Surge, there's Ethereum, there's Bitcoin, there's Ripple, Safemoon, Shiba Inu. There's thousands and thousands of tokens, but yet we don't invest in all thousand tokens. We only invest in the ones that we see potential in. So the same way with Surge, with the different variation of Surge, all you are doing is essentially investing in that underlying asset. So if you're investing in Surge Ethereum, you're saying, "Hey, I believe in Ethereum," essentially. So I want to stack up more Ethereum by just getting Surge Ethereum. So you don't have to own all the different ones. Uh, with Ghost Crypto, he asks, does owning more Surge reflect how fast your bag price goes up? That part, I've been doing a test because I bought some with a large sum amount, and I also bought some with a small sum amount. Um, I don't have the conclusion to that answer yet. I'm still running a test just to be able to see if that's true or not. But that's definitely a good question. Jeremy, that's what I'm gonna do as well too. I'm gonna also do the arbitraging. So I'm just gonna add more funds with with a different account to be able to just do the different arbitrage because I'm gonna use I'm gonna use I'm gonna keep my initial investments in place and also use extra funds to be able to do the arbitrage. So that's gonna benefit the community. That is correct. Matt stated that you're gonna need to add the contract to the list of coins in order to see it on Trust Wallet. That is correct. Alex asked about if someone created a rug pool using Surge. If we bought into it, could it compromise our wallet and all tokens? Um, that part I don't know. Um, it could, depending on what they put on the code, and that's why I say be very very careful because there are some people out there that's using Surge name already, and they're creating Surge token of their own. Back to the BNB price action here. Wow, look at this, guys. On the 1 minute, this is squeezing with increasing volume. Yes, Nathan said it seemed like the holders of Surge have stopped growing. Is it possible Surge Ethereum slash BTC cause people to not choose to invest in Surge BNB? If not, we need more marketing on this beast. That could be. That definitely could be. More people are waiting for Surge Ethereum, Surge Bitcoin to be able to come out. Um, but the thing is, though, I'm glad that Mark had already identified the that was going to be an issue down the line, and that's why he created the bridge. Because within the bridge, like people like me, people like Jeremy, are going to be arbitraging. So if we see an opportunity, where the price is cheaper on Surge BNB, then we're just going to arbitrage it, and by us doing that, it's going to cause the transaction. So number of holders really doesn't matter. What matters is the transaction. So is the contract being transacted with, whether it's a buy, sell, transfer, like is it constantly just being transacted with? Alex said like a dusting attacks. That's scary. That I know that is pretty scary. Now that would be a more question for a dev for Safemoon Mark. That's outside my pay grade as far as like understanding the different coding to of a dusting attack. Absolutely, Matt. Um, absolutely. Dollar cost averaging in. So anytime that you know the underlying BNB dips, that would be a good time to opportunity for you to be able to get in. The same thing with Ethereum. That would be a good opportunity to get in even more. So currently, right now, Bitcoin's at 45, which is still good. It's still holding its initial gain because 7 days it's up 19%, and today's only down 0.17%, which is really good. Right. Like Jeremy said, the transfers would definitely help. There is a Surge BNB chart. Let me see if I can find it. What's the website called? Let me go to the. Let me find it. So a lot of the stuff it's here in the pin section, guys, in the Discord. Definitely highly recommend going into the Discord sometime. Oh, there it is right here. Hopefully it's up. All right. So if you go to this website, it's surge.ddns.net. Um, where's the contract at? Where's the? All right, it looks like we used to have one. Looks like it might have been taken down. Just the calculator contract. We used to have a chart on here. I have no idea what happened to it. Well, either way, our website is coming up, so the website should be. They said hopefully tomorrow. And guys, another thing too, the reason why a lot of the rollouts, like websites, I know someone had asked about being audited. Like that costs money for auditing. It costs about 12 grand. So remember, this project is it's decentralized, so there's no dev wallets. So no dev wallets mean no money. So a lot of the stuff that the developers are doing, they're coming out their own pockets to be able to fund. So like a website that's actually being done by the community. So if you guys have any talents, whether it's marketing, building websites, different things, definitely reach out to the Discord and let them know how you could be able to help. Because until we start getting the ball rolling with different companies coming in, like how we have one company that's coming in, then the progress is going to be a little bit slower with, like with just basic stuff. Yes, I do know the name of the company that we partnered with. But I did I told Mark that I wasn't gonna because Mark wasn't actually supposed to say anything about the company. But I told him I wasn't gonna reveal it until after that company actually announced, so that way he didn't get in trouble or whatever. But definitely, that's very attractive of what you know with that company coming in, and it just lets you know, even with the confidence that it's a whole company that's come in behind based upon Safemoon Mark. So I think that's pretty cool, especially with the reflections. Their holders are going to be reflected in Surge Ethereum. Like that is crazy. You know. So imagine with that, reflection. So you're getting reflected, but in order for you to get those type of reflection, you actually have to buy into that company's token. Um, so it's not Surge, but with that company, if you buy their token, you're getting reflection, and I think their reflection, ooh, I think their reflection is about 20%. So it's not Safe Moon. It's not Safe Moon. Someone said it felt like a Safe Moon, but it's not. But their reflection is about 20%. So you're getting 20% of Surge Ethereum. So on top of that, if you're a holder of Surge Ethereum, as transactions keep going on through the contract, your bag in Surge Ethereum starts to climb. So it's almost like essentially this company's paying you in Ethereum, reflection in Ethereum. Wow, we got a whale in the house. He said he dropped 10K on Surge BNB. That is awesome. That is awesome. Arnold asked a very good question, and the question was, is having Surge like having saving account or some sort of money market account, or maybe a form of tracking fund, like say the same way like the S&P? In the sense it is, but it's actually a little bit better in the terms of as far as percentage wise. And that's why I'm so excited about the bridge, because within the bridge you don't have to worry about, let's say, new users coming in. If you just have arbitrage traders in, which I know plenty of people are going to actually try to come in to do arbitrage trading, because that is lucrative in itself. Um, as long as that is around, then your money for the underlying asset that you invested in, that is going to constantly go up. So that's very, 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 very true. I'm gonna make a explanation video, Berto. Um, Once the contract is out, I'm gonna do a trust wallet tutorial. But if you look at any, I do have other videos of how to buy Surge BNB. It's the same exact way. The only thing that you're doing differently is just switching the contract. But I'll still make a video about how to buy Surge Ethereum. So, verify what end of the world. You're having trouble selling Surge BNB on MetaMask with the iPhone. Um, Let's see. Are you able to if it's not connecting, because for me it took a while for it to connect for me as well too. So if you can't connect to Web3, what I would recommend while you're on the iPhone, try to change it to desktop. Um, and that's just by going to like your browser and just switching over to like desktop and see if it'll work that way versus just having it listed on mobile. That's right, Bobby. It don't start till you come in. Okay, the 12K buy. No, the company's name is not going to be revealed at 1 p.m. The company itself said they're going to reveal it on Thursday. Yeah, same thing for me, Jeremy. Like it took me like even in the video that I was making, I was like, man, what the heck? This thing's not working. But it's a little glitchy. So I think we should probably do this more often, guys. Tell me what you think. For Ethereum, it's 1 p.m. Eastern time, Eastern Standard Time. Well, guys, it's actually supposed to be date night, and I was supposed to be off around 8. So I think I'm about to call it here. Right now, for me, it's about to be 9, so I'm an hour late. So, yes, I am invested into Safemoon as well. Yep. Like I'm invested in a lot of different projects, but the one that I'm very, very, like strong on is Surge. I actually just stopped making content on another project that I'm invested in as well too, because like Surge, once I saw like everything, the math behind it, and how big this is really is, I was like, nope, yeah, my focus got to be on this. So nice. Malmix just bought some Surge BNB. Not a problem. Guys, I'm about to be signing off. Definitely, guys, again, thank you so much for the support. If you have not done so before, please leave a like and subscribe, and also leave a comment. I try to answer every single comment that you guys leave me. So, yeah, so I'm about to sign off. Peace.